Most people are waiting for the right time, waiting for the situation to change, waiting for someone to give them permission to start, waiting for Monday, for the new year, for the stars to line up in a way that finally feels like the right moment to move. And while they are waiting, the days are passing quietly, without asking, without slowing down, without giving anybody a refund on the time they spend standing still. Muhammad Ali understood something about time that most people spend their entire lives missing. And he said it in 9 words that hit harder than most books ever will. Don't count the days, make the days count. This is quote 1, and we're going to sit with it today until it means something real. I'm Chief. Welcome to Chief Logic. The quotes. We are on quote 1. Ali was not talking about productivity. He was not giving you a time management tip. He was not telling you to fill your calendar with tasks or grind 16 hours a day to prove your work ethic. That is not what this is. What Ali was pointing at is the difference between a person who experiences their life and a person who observes it, between someone who is in the game and someone who is just keeping score from the sideline. Counting the days is passive. It is the mental habit of marking time without doing anything meaningful inside of it. Monday becomes Tuesday. Tuesday becomes another week gone, and the honest question at the end of it is, what actually happened? What moved and what grew? What got built? What changed because you were present in those hours? Most people can't answer that question cleanly. Not because they are lazy, because they have been trained to endure time rather than invest in it. To survive the week rather than use it, to get through rather than go somewhere. Ali flips the entire relationship. Time is not something that happens to you. Time is the raw material you are working with, and what you build with it is entirely your responsibility. Think about the last 7 days of your life. Not what you planned, not what you intended, what actually happened. Where your hours actually went, what you built, started, finished, or moved forward in a real and measurable way. Now think about the next 7 days and ask yourself one honest question. If I live next week exactly the way I lived last week, where does that put me in 6 months? Because that's the math, not the math of big dramatic moments, the math of ordinary days repeated. Ordinary days where you either invested the hours or let them pass, either made a decision that compounded or postponed one that needed to be made. Ali did not become the greatest by waiting for great days. He made ordinary days mean something through what he chose to do inside of them. You have the same 24 hours. The question is never the time. The question is always what you are doing with it. Counting the days shows up in more ways than most people recognize. It shows up as the person who is always talking about what they are going to do next month, after the holidays, once things settle down, once the kids are older, once they save a little more, once the timing feels right. The plan is always vivid and detailed, and the action is always just slightly out of reach. It shows up as the person who measures their life in milestones that they haven't hit yet. Always referencing the future as the place where their real life begins. When I get the promotion, when I lose the weight, when I launch the business, when I finally feel ready. And it shows up quietly in the daily habits that fill time without building anything. 3 hours of content consumed that could have been 1 hour of work produced. Another evening that passed comfortably and left nothing behind. None of that is living. That is counting. That is marking days on a calendar and calling it a life. The trap is comfortable because it always comes with a reason, and the reasons are always usually legitimate. You're tired. The timing is genuinely not ideal. Life is actually complicated right now. All of that is real. But the days don't pause for the reasons. They just keep going. And at some point, the distance between where you are and where you intended to be becomes the story of your life instead of just a temporary gap. Ali trained through pain. He prepared in private for years before the world saw the results in public. He didn't wait for a day that felt worthy of his effort. He made every day worthy through the effort he brought to it. There's a version of your life that is possible. You can see it. You have thought about it. You know what it looks like. And there is the version you are currently living, which may be good, may be fine. But if you are honest, it's not the version you know you are capable of. The distance between those two versions is not talent. It's not luck. It's not even opportunity in most cases. It's what you did with Tuesday, not the big days, not the days when everything aligned and motivation showed up on its own. The ordinary Tuesday when nothing was pushing you and nobody was watching, and you had a choice between doing the thing or letting the day pass. What you do with Tuesday is what builds the life every single time. Make the days count, starting with the next one you get. Here's the part of this quote that does not get talked about enough. Making the days count is not just about output. It's not just about production and results and checking things off of a list. That is part of it, but it's not all of it. Making the days count also means being present in your life, fully present, not halfway and while the other half is on a screen, not physically there, but mentally somewhere else entirely. There are people who are incredibly busy and completely absent from their lives at the same time. They are producing, they are moving, they are generating results, but they are not actually experiencing any of it because they are always already in the next moment, the next goal, the next thing that needs to get done. Ali was completely present in everything he did, in training, in the fight, in the conversation, in the moment. That presence is what made him magnetic beyond the boxing. It's what made people feel something when he walked into a room. He was not half there, he was entirely there. Every day, in every room. Making the days count means you show up fully to the life you are actually living, not just to the goals you are chasing. The relationship in front of you, the conversation happening right now, the work you are doing today, the person you are becoming in the process. All of it counts. None of it comes back. Stop watching the clock, not because time does not matter, because watching it does not change it. Every minute you spend aware of how much time is passing is a minute you are not spending inside of what the time is for. The chief logic on this is direct. Don't watch the clock. Be the clock. Be the thing that moves with intention and precision. Be the mechanism that drives the hour instead of the person waiting for the hour to pass. Set your own pace. Operate on your own rhythm. Move because you decided to move, not because something outside of you signaled that it was time. That is what it means to make the days count. You become the force in the day instead of a passenger in it. You stop reacting to time and start commanding it. That shift is everything, and it starts the moment you decide that the next hour belongs to something that matters. Your future self is being built right now, not next year, not when things get better, right now. In this season, with these resources and these circumstances, Every day you invest builds a version of you that is more capable, more disciplined, and more prepared for what is coming. Every day you let pass without intention widens the gap between who you are and who you are trying to become. Ali did not become the greatest on fight night. He became the greatest in every training session nobody filmed, in every morning he got up when he did not feel like it, and every day he made count when counting the days would have been easier. Your greatest is being built in the same place, in the private, unglamorous, unsexy daily decisions to show up for your own life. Make today count. That is the whole code. Muhammad Ali gave us 9 words that contain an entire philosophy of living. Don't count the days. Make the days count. It is not complicated, but it requires a daily decision that most people never fully commit to. The decision to be intentional about the hours you have, the hours you have been given, to treat your time as the most valuable thing you own, because it is. To stop waiting for the right moment and start making the moment right. The final thought for quote 1 is this: don't watch the clock, be the clock. Move with intention, operate with purpose. Let the day belong to something that matters, and do that again tomorrow and the day after that, until the life you are building starts to look like the life you imagine. That's the work, day by day, quietly, consistently, without an audience and without apology. This quote is the very first one in my book, Chief Logic, 50 Quotes for a Life of Purpose and Power, available right now on Amazon and Kindle. 50 quotes, final thoughts, and journal prompts, designed to make you sit with these ideas long enough for them to actually change something. If you want to go deeper than just watching, the book puts the work in your hands. Link is in the description. Go get it. And here is your journal prompt for quote 1, straight from the book. What is the one thing you can do today that your future self will thank you for? Not tomorrow, not this week, today. Write it down, then go do it. That one answer acted on is what making the days count actually look like. Think on that. Stay sharp, stay grounded.